All right, welcome back. Welcome back to part two of solving the problem and understanding which statement is true. You gotta I have to apologize for the shaking. It's like every time I fart, the camera just shakes. So I got to keep my gas inside of me, or else this thing's gonna shake. Um, Again, thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. I think I was trying to be funny, but this thing just shakes no matter what I do, and I apologize. All right, and so in continuing in part two video, you want to review my other videos on converting fractions to decimals to percents. That's going to be super helpful for you if you don't have that knowledge, and I've created a bunch of videos in showing you how to do that. You also want to check out my videos on ratios, which are fractions, and every fraction is a division problem. So the ratio or the fractions we're going to create based upon part one's data table are the person's number of votes is the numerator, that's the top part of the fraction, over the total votes for boys or girls, depending on what we're being asked, questions A, B, C, D, and E. And if you recall, we're trying to find which option A, B, C, D, and E is true. Which one is true? So we're going to create a fraction, convert it to a decimal, and then convert it into a percent. So set up each of your ratio, that's your fractions for each answer, A, B, C, D, and E. So I will try to read the questions, and if you recall, I went over the data for Jorge, Omar, Scarlett, Grace, and the votes they received over the total votes for boys and the total votes for girls. That's what we're going to use to set up our ratio proportions. And in case you forgot, I'm going to show you a quick so you don't have to go back to part one. This is the data that we're using. So we talk about Jorge. How many votes did Jorge get from the boys? Well, he got 65 out of 280. That will be my ratio fraction. How many votes did Jorge get for the girls? Well, he got 45 out of a total number of 220 votes. So that I'll try to do that for each of these questions, but I'm limited to time. So moving forward, you want to convert again into percentages and then compare the percentage. Whichever percentage has the highest, whichever question has the highest percentage, that will be your chosen answer, right? The largest percentage, that is the answer that you want to choose. So I'm moving this up. I like to leave that ratio fraction so you can refer to that as I. We'll start off with question A. How many girls voted for Omar? You got to go back to that table, take a look at that chart for each of these. And so, if you remember, 50 girls voted for Omar out of a possible 220. So this is how I set up my ratio fractions. And every fraction is a division problem. 50 divided by 220. So in your calculators, go ahead and punch in 50 divided by 220. And remember, no matter where you're located, if they haven't issued you a calculator, you request one, they are required to give you a calculator, right? So 50, punch in 50, division symbol 220 equals, and that will give you a decimal value of 0.2272. In order to change this decimal into a percent, you simply take that decimal, move it 2 places to the right. There's my little arrow, 2 places to the right. Now you can put your percentage symbol, and you've got 22.72%. All right, so we'll compare these at towards the end of the video. Let's just keep on going. I would like to show you B, C, D, and E. We'll compare the percentages, and then we will see who is the big winner. Big winner. All right. So let's up B. Boys for Grace. How many votes did Grace get from the boys? So if you look at the chart, you will see there's 60 votes for Grace out of a total of 280 boys' votes. That's 60 divided by 280, which I'm showing you here. Punch that in your calculator. 60 divided by 280 equals, you get a decimal answer, 0.21429. We're going to convert that into a percentage by moving that decimal 2 places to the right. You can see my little arrow there, 2 places to the right. And that gives you 21.429%. Now you could round up that 2 to a 3 because the number to the right of 2 is 5 or larger, and then eliminate the 9. But we'll just keep it here for now since we're comparing percentages. I want to make sure I'm doing this the right way. C, how many girls voted for Jorge? Well, there were 45 girls on the chart who voted for Jorge out of 220 total girls' votes. That's 45 divided by 220. 45 divided by 220 your calculator equals 0.2045. You're going to take that decimal, move it 2 places to the right, add your percent symbol, and you got 20.45%. So far, the highest percentage we have here is A. Seems to be the true statement. But let's keep looking. We got part D here. D, boys for Jorge. How many boys voted for Jorge? Well, 65 boys out of 280 total votes. That's 65 divided by 280. Get you 0.2321. Move that decimal place 2 places to the right, and you end up with 23.21%. So as of right now, in comparing which one is the largest percentage, I think Jorge received the largest percentage of votes. So the answer would be D at this point, but let's check out E. Let's check out E. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit here so you can see it. So for E, how many girls voted for Scarlett? Hey, back over here, check this out. This is the question. Girls for Scarlett on the chart. There were 90 girls who voted for Scarlett out of 220 total votes. That's 90 divided by 220 equals 0.4090, right? Move that decimal 2 places to the right. You get 40.90%. That's the largest percent that we've seen here so far. We had 22.72% for A, 21.429% for B, 20.45% for C, 23.21% for D, and finally E. Your answer is E at 40.90%. It's that simple. Thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Hopefully, I'm bringing these videos to help you answer these standardized test questions. And if you can help me to help others, that is greatly appreciated. I am brought to you by your stars and gifts. Thank you so very much. Like, follow, and share these videos. Don't forget, math is easy. Take it step by step.